Mic'd up.
Welcome to Yankees Coast to Coast with your friend him and me. It's been a pleasure to be back here with you guys. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long, strange trip this last month.
Yeah, we have personal things. We are human beings. We have lives. Contrary to all of you fans out there who think that we're special, that we're just here for you. Well, sometimes we have other things that we need to do. And unfortunately, we are back.
Fortunately or unfortunately?
Unfortunately for you all, we are back. Anyway, it's good. It's been a good couple of weeks. The irony of it is they're playing their best baseball of the year, and we haven't been around to talk about it. So you know what that means, right?
We're a jinx. We're about to go on a losing streak.
It's happening, man. They're going to lose 3 in a row to the Rockies.
Yeah.
by a combined score of 100-4.
Oh, my God. It'll be the death of us. If this happens, everybody's going to call it and say, get off the air, get off the air. Although they do that anyhow. So what's
it? They do that anyway. There's no upside. So anyway, it's been good. I mean, I've been very busy with work. I want to send a little hello to my dear sister who is in the hospital tonight.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she's got a little pneumonia. She's battling right now, so she's getting well. But we've been had a lot of family stuff going on. Family here. My son graduated from college. Amazingly, he must have his mother's brain. I know that's where you were going. Thank God. And all is good. And then you've had some personal stuff too. You were here. We saw you.
Yes, you did see. And my son finally set his wedding date. So
he's getting married?
Yes, Max is getting married August 2026.
Wow, mazel tov.
What's funnier is the place that he picked is where he had his bar mitzvah.
Wow, that's nice. I think that's
we played golf there, and we went in to go say hello to our neighbor who works there as a catering coordinator. She wasn't there, but he liked the place so much, and he signed his contract yesterday. So those of you that are out there,
are you happy about this?
I like her. And
do you like him?
My alleged son, so.
There it is. I was waiting.
He's definitely my alleged son. He hit 2 balls over everybody's head last week. It's the first time I've ever seen him hit a ball over anybody's head in the 26 years that I've known him.
So he plays well. This is good.
No, he doesn't usually. Usually he's plays okay, but all of a sudden he decided to hit the ball over everybody's head. And he's using what's his name? Alondis, whatever his name is, Diaz, that used to be on the A's last year. The A's gave me his bat, and a Chad Pinder bat. And Max,
you're letting him use a professional issue bat for pud knocker baseball. That should be a keepsake. You don't let him play with that.
Diaz. If you want a keepsake, I'm playing golf tomorrow with Stephen Piscotty.
Who's that?
You don't know who Stephen Piscotty is?
Sorry, no.
Played over 10 years for the Cardinals and played for the A's.
Wow. How did you make that connection?
Well, I'm just signed up to play, and it just happened to be playing with him.
So really? So in other words,
he doesn't know what he's getting into tomorrow. I do know his mother, because his mother was the attendance lady at the high school where I coached and where my kids went, and she was a terrific woman. She passed away from ALS. She was a great lady. She was terrific. Piscotty's a nice guy. He even has a radio show now on MLB Network Radio. He does it with the A's. When he's on, he's usually on with the Lady A's baseball announcer. And I will say this, she is as bad on that show as she is as a baseball announcer. She is really not. What's amazing to me is she seems to only do road games. And they have one of the Carey grandchildren that's been doing their home games. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, today he did the game with Dallas Braden, who's the color guy on every game, who happens to be getting better and better. And the Carey kid is really, really good. And what's even more amazing is they have Steve Sachs on their pre- and post-game show.
Really? I like Steve Sachs.
He's actually really good. I didn't expect him to be really good. He is.
He used to do Yankee games, I think, for a while. A little bit of a time he did Yankee stuff back in the day. I like him.
New York Yankees. The Yankees are 30-19, 5 games ahead of the Toronto Blue Jays, who are 1 game over 500.
Who jumped over the Red Sox, who have been playing the mediocre baseball that we sort of expected from them.
I thought the Red Sox would be pretty good personally.
Their bullpen always. I kept thinking
The
this
bullpen is
maybe
up.
they roll this Chapman fun.
He's actually pitching well though,
Why
Chapman.
don't they have him as their closer? Period. Why are they not?
I don't know who is their closer. I don't care really.
They don't seem to have a closer. I keep looking for him, and he's not in there every night.
I
Do they have
think
a committee?
they're doing a lot of the same things that other teams are doing now, which is their best relief pitcher is pitching either in the eighth or the ninth, depending on where the other team is in the lineup, which is actually something people have talked about for years and years. If they're going to go into analytics, why not have your best pitcher against the toughest part of the opponent's lineup?
Yeah.
So that's actually what they've been doing in Boston. So anyhow, the Yanks are 30-19. They've won 8 out of the last 10. They've won 4 in a row. What's interesting to me is their run differential is plus 95, which is the highest in baseball. They bypassed the Cubs. And the funniest part of the Yankees record is their expected won-loss record based on the various things that have gone on, based on runs scored and runs allowed. They are actually should be 34-15, not 30 and the only teams with a better record than the Yankees are the Detroit Tigers and the
Dodgers still, right?
Dodgers are 31-19. So I guess the Dodgers are better by a half game.
And the Mets are ahead.
Phillies
Mets
are
are behind because the Yanks have less losses. So it's
well,
probably
Yanks are ahead of the Mets now. Phillies are 32-18. Mets are 30-20. Yanks have one less game played.
yeah. And I'm very pleased by what we're seeing. And I tell you, there's a very clear reason. Both, they're getting terrific starting pitching from 3 of the 5 guys, no matter what. And Yarbrough has looked all right too. They're looking fine. You've got to love Fried is insane, just sick. Fried is better. I'm going to say it here. He's better than Cole. I don't think we ever saw Cole pitch this well without the hiccups, without the home runs, without the mistakes that he always went out and said, yeah, there was that one pitch I blew. This guy is everything that they need. It's just sad they don't have 2 of him because that would have been beautiful. But
been pitching pretty well. I mean, he was
very, very lucky to make this move. I want to talk about that a little later when we talk about Soto. But, Plan B, it's been talked about a lot, but we talked about Plan B a lot here. And we felt that this was going to be the case. We did feel this. I know we talked about this. This was a better team for all the reasons that that they are winning today, thank God. Because they made the move that they made the right move, or the move that wasn't made has turned out to be the right one.
They had to go to Plan B before it was made illegal by the Trump administration.
Exactly.
So anyhow, I mean, and the Yankees are winning at all levels. They're 18-9 at home. They're 12-10 away. They are doing really well right now in the division.
Mm-hmm.
They're 7-6 in the division, 5-4 against the Central, 7-2. They're beating up the West.
Mm-hmm.
And then they are also 11-7 in interleague play.
What was the talk? You saw the A's. What was the talk out there about the Yankees playing the A's? Did they just?
It was to talk about the stadium being a launching pad. That's where it had not really been as big of a launching pad as it is now until the Yankees and the A's just started bashing the balls over the fence against it.
Is the weather suddenly that it's just so hot now?
It's not been so hot, but when it's warm, it's going to go jumping out of that place. So we'll see. I mean, it was a couple of more home runs today. A's lost again 10-5 to the Angels today.
Are you surprised they didn't do some work around that park to make it a little bit less of one? Because it's a classic PSL, baseball league. I mean, it's a baseball park.
PCL, Pacific Coast.
PCL, sorry.
Oh yeah, Pacific Coast League is known to be a home run hitters league. I mean, between that and Vegas, and teams in Arizona, and
how about some walls? Put up some walls. I mean, they could add 10 feet to the walls around.
They were too busy having to build clubhouses and all sorts of different things that they had to do to make the stadium major league ready for the players. I mean, it's already bad enough that both the clubhouses are out beyond the outfield fences.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I will say this though: at least the bullpens aren't on the field like they were in Oakland.
Yeah, that's got to be nice for a change. You didn't have to have a guy there, but but it was fun watching them play out there. I really personally like these these. I don't think that they're good. I think they do need to do something about it um, to keep from these home runs. Yeah, they obviously are going to become a problem as the summer goes on. But
They've
I
got
like it
this
though.
year and 2 more years in Sacramento. So who knows
Yeah.
what they'll adjust and what they can adjust. I mean, they're somewhat limited. Although I know the A's owner is very good friends with the guy who owns the Sacramento minor league team.
Hmm.
They're really good friends. That's one of the reasons that Sacramento worked out so easily for them,
Yeah.
is they were willing to do that. I think the bigger problem is going to be in Tampa. I think once the summer comes,
Oh,
the rain is going to be and the brutal heat. I
oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's Tampa's. I mean, I think that's one of the problems that the Rays are having is they don't play outdoors, and their team obviously was not built to be an outdoor team, right? And their team was already going backwards because the team won't spend any money. So it's going to be an interesting season for Tampa.
Well, not just that, but the way they've set it up. They're on the road, basically 80% of the season now because they played most of their home games already. Or not most of them, but a lot of home games, way more home games than anybody else. And then they're going to be looking at playing, and now they're going to be on the road a lot. And that's got to be hard, and that weighs on these guys.
Well, they haven't. They've played 31 home games. The Yanks have played 27. That's
That's surprising. I think I heard that was not the case. Or now is it because they're catching up? Now they are on the road.
the answer to that question.
I think April was all home. I think they played all at home there. So they've just finally now they're playing their road games. But
I mean, the A's are going through the process of they play 6 at home, 6 away, 6 at home, 6 away every week. Sometimes it's 7, but for the most part, it's 6 and 6. And that's the A's are playing like a minor league schedule because they're sharing the stadium with a minor league team. Whereas what Tampa's doing with the Tampa Tarpons, I want to
yeah,
say Yankees, but the Tarpons is, I don't know what they're doing there, but,
the Yankees are playing across the street.
the Tarpons are playing.
Tarpons are playing in Himes. Um,
Well, I mean, what's funny is with regard to the Tampa and the A's, neither one of them is selling out. The A's are averaging about the same number of fans that they averaged last season, as are the Rays.
does it look better though?
Well, it looks better because there's not as many empty seats. But what's interesting about the A's is the what do they call it? I don't know what they call it, but the lawn seats
Hmm.
out in right field and down the right field line are sold out.
Yeah.
Every game they're sold out.
What?
You could be
They look great. They
you're
look like they're really fun place.
sitting
I like
under a
that.
tree and not be able to see the game if you were all the way out in right field.
Mhm.
It's really interesting. So
One thing that I'm thinking, and I would love to see it because I think it's nice. I think these little parks are really quaint. I'd like to see every team at some point has to play one of their series, at least one of their series at their one of their minor league affiliates, so that
be bet at their own minor league affiliate, which would be interesting.
because
Um,
I think that would be good for the
yeah,
communities.
but teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers who are drawing 40,000 a game are never going to go for that because that's a lot of revenue to walk away from. I know they print money,
Come
blah
on,
blah blah. The Red Sox
do
could do it.
something for good. Go do
Tucker
something for good.
probably has a 15,000 seat stadium and only 30. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be more disgraceful because it looks like the Orioles are going to be playing in front of an empty ballpark this year. Unbelievable what's going on there.
Bad. Lots of bad stuff going on. Just sad when when you overestimate the skill set of
Yeah,
when
but
you
the
draw.
guys that were playing better are stepping backwards. I mean,
Yeah,
granted, Gunnar Henderson was hurt at the beginning of the year, but Rutschman's gone backwards.
Rushman's
Uh,
gone way back. He's hitting what 220.
I know.
I mean,
And then you've got, Cedric Mullins is actually performing, but it's a contract year. Yankees need to stay clear of him next year.
mhm.
Um, but it's interesting to see what's going on. And you know, you got the you got the Diamondbacks down in the National League West, who were expected to do good things. I mean, they got 4 teams over 500. But if you look at the records of the teams in the NL West, the Dodgers are hold on a second, I got to get back to the right screen. In the NL West, in their own division, the Dodgers are 7-3, the Padres are 7-1, the Diamondbacks are only 7-6, but the Diamondbacks haven't played the Rockies. What's funny is the Giants are 4-5, and they did lose a series to the Rockies.
Mhm.
So it's really interesting that what's going on out there. But the Rockies are on a pace to win 26
Yeah,
games.
I saw that today. They announced it as a big part of the game today. That's amazing. So basically, um, the White Sox don't have to live with the ignominy. I hate that term. The
Yeah.
ignominy, is that the term?
Yes,
Ignominy.
yes, it is Norm Crosby.
And you know,
There's a reference that we got and nobody else.
nobody else will. But the thing about this is they don't have to live with that for 70 years like the Mets did. So it's kind of nice, you know.
Yeah. Well, at least the
Must
Mets.
be good.
What's funny though is at least the Mets were an expansion team when it happened.
That's right. You also have to really wonder what's happening, that teams are being allowed to be this bad. Like why is it that for 50 years, 60 years, nobody was that terrible? You had teams that were 110 losses. You maybe had 100. I think the Tigers had one year where they lost 115. I think that might have been 2003 or something, where they were just horrendous. But then they turned around and got really good fast, and they competed. But
Well,
what
since we're
is it?
we have a Tigers question.
Oh, hey, good point.
Well, let's listen to our Tigers question.
Let's go
So,
Tigers.
well, this isn't about your Yankees. Just wondering, what do you think about my Tigers' record at the moment?
So that was from Vicki Lawrence, not
Oh,
that Vicki Lawrence, but Vicki Lawrence, who I worked with at the A's. Terrific, terrific lady, fun to work with. She was one of the first people I worked with the first day I walked in. She was one of the people that trained me, poor lady. And yet she lasted with me through the A's tenure.
wow.
Big time Tigers fan.
Bless her. God bless
So she was a Tigers fan the entire time. So pre-COVID, when they really stunk,
her. Hmm.
she was always a Tiger fan. For those of you who want to send in souvenir cups, she collects souvenir cups from every stadium in the world. So if you want to send me a souvenir cup from a stadium, I will get it to Vicky.
Well, you
I
know how
like.
I feel about this.
We knew the Tigers were going to be good as soon as they signed AJ Hinch because we knew he was a good manager, even if they didn't bang on garbage cans.
Hmm.
But they've done a good job of building their team, and look what they're getting out of Glaber and Baez this year. That's unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I'm truly amazed. I mean, Glaber's hitting 277. I don't think he ever hit that high with the Yankees.
Well, he hit around. He hit that. He did okay with the Yankees.
He's only got 5 home runs, so the power isn't there. But he's getting on base a lot. His on base percentage is over 358, which is probably above than he did with the
It's
Yankees.
better than what he did with the Yankees, and he's you got to remember he went on the IL for 15 days as well.
You know, and his his strikeout rate is walking more than he strikes out,
Which is amazing. And
really,
he had a great second half of the Yankees last year, but offensively, defensively, obviously, he meets the term of mental eggplant.
yeah. But I mean, he's still, I mean, an OPS of 784 isn't gonna be a game changer for them.
Remember, the OPS for Major League Baseball now is closer to 700 than it's ever been. For a while there, it was below 700, but now it's back over.
We'll see. He's going to have to still do something. I don't want to upset our friend Vicky because I want to give her love for the team. I want to say, why don't you say what I told you earlier about the Tigers?
Adam, just so you know, Vicky, Adam picked the Tigers to win the World Series.
And you should have seen the look. You should have seen the look on this man's face when I said that. He was like, "Get out of here." I like them. I like their moxie.
I picked them
I
to
like
make
their
the
defense.
playoff.
I love their pitch.
I picked them. You know who I picked? I picked the Mariners. I didn't pick the Rays. I picked the Mariners to win the
That's
World.
really stupid. No,
I
they're a good team.
they're first
No,
place.
they're a good team. They're a good team.
They have great pitching.
I'm being mean.
I just want the Mariners get to the playoffs. That's what they need because they have the pitching. The Tigers have done a great job. It helps that Torkelson is all of a sudden back to how he was as a rookie. They're going to get Meadows back, not the Meadows that's got issues. The other brother Meadows is going to come back, and Baez is going to become a super utility guy because right now he's playing center field for them.
Yeah.
But they have a good team, a good bullpen.
I love Scooble. I really do. I think Scooble is great. His and what's amazing is he's got that whip under one. Nobody hits him.
He doesn't walk.
Strikes out a ton of guys. Actually, no. It's amazing. Yeah, strikes out a ton of guys. I mean, shut up. He doesn't give up a lot of walks. Doesn't walk. He's a great pitcher. And they got Flaherty, who is also having a pretty darn good.
Well,
year.
he was great.
He's a little high.
Great when they traded him away last year to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And they still made the playoffs last year, right?
I mean, their pitching staff is really, and Casey Mize he killed the Yankees, and he just beat.
Well, he got injured, and now he's coming back too.
Yeah, so I'm all in on them. I think it's great, and they seem to be getting a lot out of Tommy Canley's
Just picked him
changeup.
up my fantasy team. Him and I forgot the other guy splitting the closing job with them.
Look at
I picked
that.
Stanley in my fantasy league team.
Nobody can hit Canley. Nobody can hit that changeup, and
And he
that's all that's coming.
throws it 90% of the time. So
That's all
while
that's coming.
Vicky is not a Yankee fan, she's got to like the fact the Yankees let Canley walk away to Detroit.
All right, yeah, that's right. All right, so we also have Frank. You want to play Frank right now?
So Frankie the Yankee. Let's see what he
Here's
has.
Frankie, and we'll have
Hey
Frank.
guys, it's Frankie here. Just want to say welcome back. And maybe one of the reasons that the Yankees are doing better now is because Chaz Chisholm is not in the lineup. I know he's no Gleyber Torres,
See what he did there?
but maybe that has something to do with it.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back,
Mr. Carter.
welcome.
You know, I bet he had I bet he had Horseshack hair.
I thought he was going to sing when he said "Welcome back, guys."
Do you think Frankie had Horseshack hair? I think he had that big.
He still does. He's 92 years old and still has Horseshack hair. Let's face facts. Frankie's got what is Frankie? 92, right?
Frankie's got a great head of hair.
15 years younger than Austin, and but he's got the Horseshack hair going still.
Yeah, it's looking good.
And he stole a base. Well, he sort of stole a base this week in his league.
Wow.
Just so you know, I am leading the league in stolen bases in my league. There's no stolen bases. The league doesn't allow stolen bases, yet I lead the league because I stole a base on Sunday. Can't hit a lick this season. Stole a base.
This is how bad this league is. That there is nobody. These guys have a hard time moving their bowels, let alone to bases. I mean, it is.
Movements is not the problem. It's the fact that we have to pee every 2 innings.
Do you guys bring a? Do you have to like? I think I saw you guys once during the our tournament. Did you have the porta potty on somebody's truck? Like, did you have to actually bring it to the stadium with you?
No, there's actually the fields that we play at this
Always
year.
Have men's room.
It was a porta potty, but I've been playing at this one high school, Granada High School, which is one of the best high school baseball teams in the country. I have a tree that I've been peeing on for 30 years since I moved here. It was a small tree when I started. It's a very big tree. Unlike me, who was a small tree when I started, and now big tree. And then the other field is Bellarmine High School, which is a Catholic school, and they have a fantastic stadium that we play in. Holds about.
I love that. I love that we've digressed into horrible talks about toilets and baseball. But
so Frankie, I don't know if it's just Chisholm or is it DJ came back.
Well, they really exactly DJ. Listen, I'm not happy at all with the way Jazz played this year. I liked him a lot more last year. It's like he got off that big start with all his home runs and he forgot how to hit. He just decided, you know what, I like the way this feels. I'm hitting them out, and that's all that mattered.
I have a feeling he's going to end up back at third base if they're going to keep DJ at second. I mean, there's just not much choice.
We'll see. And the way Yorbit hit today. Now, Yorbit, I got to tell you, I like him.
How the guy was a contact hitter in the minors and swings that hard on every pitch.
I just don't get it. I mean, you're looking at his strikeout rate is very high so far since coming in the league. It's not what he's supposed to be. I know it's harder here. But he's overswinging. There's no question. It's very obvious. And I wish the guys would talk about
156 with a 188 slugging. He's had 37 plate appearances. I mean, he's got 10 strikeouts, which is not awful. But,
it's not great.
He's got 5 hits, a double and a homer. He's just, I expected more out of the guy based on his stats in the minors, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's striking out 26% of the time for a contact hitter. This is what we were told about Volpe. Are they doing this in the minors? Is this a Yankee problem that they're teaching these guys?
It's absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. Volpe's gone back into his swoon. His on base is down to 322. Rice seems to have settled in as a 250 hitter who gets on base.
But worries me about Rice is Rice isn't playing enough now. So that's just it. Like the beginning, they sit him a lot.
It seems to be the rotation.
That's going to happen.
They have a 5-man or 5 or 6-man rotation where one guy's going to sit every game between
Here's what
Goldschmidt,
I want to ask you: why are they
Schmidt.
still in love with Schmidt? They love Goldschmidt. They love Bellinger. Got to play him. Got to play Bellinger. Bellinger is finally showing what he's got. Now it's wonderful. Grisham, batting average is down to 258 or 267. You know, I don't see it. All of a sudden, he hasn't hit a home run in a couple of weeks. Now, what's he doing? I don't love him in the outfield. I think he's overrated. I say it 1,000 times. Overrated center fielder. And that pisses
He's 2
people off
for his,
because they think he's so beautiful.
2 for his last 14, just so you know, Grisham. He had 2 hits yesterday. He had 2 hits. Sorry, he had 2 hits on Tuesday. And it was 2 for 14 going into today's game. 2 for 14 with 4 strikeouts, but he also had 5 walks. So
all right. So we are all over the place because we've had so much time. We have a lot of pent up energy. But I want to finish here. Still want to stick to the schedule. I want to finish on a talk about Soto a little bit. What did you think about the Soto weekend?
I think it's been worse in Boston, to be honest with you. I think that Soto tried. I think he tried to do the right thing in New York by tipping his cap to the crowd, waving to them. He tried to engage and what's the word I'm looking? Tamp down the booing, and it didn't work. And he didn't have a good series. He wasn't awful against the Yankees. He actually played decent defense. But I mean, look at yesterday. Yesterday, he's 7 pitches and 2 strikeouts without taking the bat off his shoulders. That's un-Soto-like. He does look like he's not happy. I do find it funny as I texted to you guys. Boomer Esiason's really in getting the riot act written to him by the national media because he made up a whole bunch of stuff and attributed it to a whole bunch of people who never said those things. Things like Soto doesn't travel on the team plane; he travels on a private plane with his family. This, that, and the other thing. So, and then there's the stories. Oh, his family made him go to the Mets because of the things that the Mets gave with regard to the travel and the luxury vibe.
Hurt, but that wasn't the reason. It was the $75 million they gave him up front. That to me was. That's it. It was unprecedented. It was phenomenal. It was something that the Yankees weren't going to do because it's a bad precedent. I agree, it's a bad precedent. And I think that I think it was exactly what the Yankees needed to step out gracefully and play the high and really, really enjoy the high ground on this one. It seems that the Yankees really are looking better for all of this now. Of course, it's a lot easier when you're first place and all the guys you brought in are doing well, but your plan B. But I wrote about this. I don't know if anyone understood it, but there was an embarrassment. You felt bad for him. It was an uncomfortableness at the stadium that you feel when you've done something bad. And I'll bring it up. I was in high school. Did you read my story? It made me think of this moment that I hadn't thought about in years. I was in high school.
When did you write this? When you wrote about high school?
I wrote this down.
That's what
I was in high school, and I was dating this woman for a long time. And we were on the rocks. It was beginning to break up. I was going to college. She was going to go to Colorado. We started this sort of split. What we ended up doing was we were about to break up, and we decided, hey, let's just go on vacation. So we went skiing with her parents.
Oh, yes, I remember the story.
So go skiing, and then we had a big fight the first night, and we broke up. It was like obvious we were done. And I had to spend 5 days with her parents. Her father, and actually I broke up with her. I spent 5 days with this guy, giving me the stink eye the whole week. It was terrible. I've never had a worse time in my life. She was in a bad mood. I was in a bad mood. He was like literally wanted to put me on a bus and send me back to San Francisco. I was just, what was I going to do? And I kept thinking about that's exactly how this guy must have felt the whole time. Just absolutely where you loved, where everything was great, suddenly you're just stuck. And, he's sitting in the outfield, they're booing him. And it wasn't just booing, it was hate that was being thrown at him. And he's not a hate guy, you can tell. But I got to tell you, Michael Kay may be right. 15 years, this is going to be, unless the Yankees win a lot of World Series, and he stinks.
A lot of That's a lot of. I think. Look, I'm looking at his contract right now, and based on what's out there, he counts 51 million for luxury tax purposes, which doesn't really calculate the signing bonus. But from a cash perspective, he made 121, almost 122 million dollars this year because of the signing bonus, and then it goes down to 46 and change for the next 4 years, and then 46 for years 6 through 15.
And does he opt out after 4?
If he opts out after 5 years, let's say he's just average Juan Soto, 280, 25 to 35 homers, 115 runs batted in, and he has an on-base percentage near 400, and a slugging near 400, over 400. So he has an OPS around 900, and then in the year 5, he has a great season. If he were to opt out after that season, he's going to get himself a contract that's going to pay him more than $46 million a year. It's just the nature of the beast.
The Yankees.
So that could be out of this after 5 years.
Yeah, it's a really good move, and he'll do probably. And another thing, the Mets. I don't think the Mets will do it. I think the Mets see him for 5 years, and I think they see this as an out because they'll just say no. That's a lot. That adding that extra money, that's a big deal. That's a lot of money,
right.
And it'll give them. They're going to get the 5 best years. They're going to get the 5 best years out of him. He's going to be turning 31 at that point, right? And then he's out. And then let someone else. He's not going to opt out. He'll probably do what Cole did. He'll pull it back if the Mets don't show a sign of agreeing.
It depends. It depends on the circumstances. Like if he gets hurt, he's obviously not going to opt out, right? Because why would you walk away from the money? So if he performs. Right. He will opt out, and at age 31, he will get another contract. So at age 31, he'll have 10 years and $460 million remaining. Nope, I don't think anybody's going to give him 10 years, but I think somebody would give him, somebody at age 30 is going to give him 7 years and $350 million, which is $50 million
a year. Unless there is an inflation like we've seen over the last 5 years in the big salaries, the big contracts.
There will be.
Where a couple of years ago, 250 to 300, Judge now is underpaid. And, if that happens again, then you'll see, then maybe he'll get it. But
we'll see. I mean, they did lose the ESPN baseball contract and haven't replaced it yet. So we have to see what happens with regard to the National Baseball TV contract. That's what really has to come down to. And then we'll see what happens.
Does it bother you? I mean, I know you like the Mets.
What?
I know you like the Mets. I don't. I
don't like the Mets. I don't dislike the Mets. There's a big difference between like.
Do you get a kick out of them stinking?
I find it amusing what's going on with Soto. Yeah, I find it amusing because just as I find it amusing that Roki Sasaki went on the IL for the Dodgers, and that Blake Snell is on the IL for the Dodgers, and that Tyler Glasnow is on the IL for the Dodgers. I find it amusing that these guys who got all this big money are on the IL, and all of these guys that the Dodgers signed have not performed yet for the Dodgers, and they're already on the IL. Whereas Cole going on the IL for the Yankees sucks. But at least the Yankees got several years out of Cole.
I bet there are people out there who find that amusing.
Oh, no, I'm sure anybody who hates the Yankees finds it amusing. But with any pitcher, he's going to get Tommy John at some point. The question is are you going to get anything out of him before or after the Tommy John surgery? In the case of the Yankees, they got years out of Cole, and hopefully they'll get years out of Cole. Right? Hopefully they'll get years on the back end. But right now, these guys that the Dodgers signed, they haven't done anything for the Dodgers, and they're on the IL.
Very heavily overpaid. Big money.
Right.
Except
the Snell contract. Sasaki's not overpaid, but, he's hurt.
Overhyped. Overhyped, man.
Yeah.
What about the kid, the one from last year, Matsuzaka? Was that his name? What was his name? The one.
That's the guy. Matsuzaka went to the Red Sox. Dice K.
No. Who's the guy who went to the Dodgers last year?
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
He's having a great year. He went on the IL for a significant period last year as well. But, he came back and he pitched okay for them through the World Series, and this year he's been fantastic. So,
Right.
but I was amused when he went on the IL last year. I find it amusing. I find it more amusing when the Dodgers suffer at this point than I do the Mets, only because the Dodgers more recently beat the Yankees in the World Series. But they got nothing out of these guys.
Not
And
yet.
they're
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, they're going to get something out of these guys. They will. But it's just nice to see that bad things happen to good teams. I hate to say it, but it's just nice.
listen, the Yankees
There
have had
is. Oh, you
remember
know
the
what? We
Yankees have
didn't
had
play
their
Kramer. Oh
Oh,
no.
we'll play Kramer in a second just to stick it out. But the Yankees have had their share of injuries, but the Dodgers have been beaten to hell, but they have the depth.
Yeah.
All right, K Dog.
And they're still in first place. All right.
K-Dog here. On to the pitching side of things. The bullpen is improved. The starting pitching has been surprisingly better than we thought. Let's give Rodon some credit. He looks like he's turned a corner. Will Warren has learned how to pitch a little bit more efficiently, so credit is due there. And Max Fried has been a wonderful signing so far. See ya.
Let's get Kramer's second comment, and then we'll come back to this, just so we can end the show.
K-Dog here. I think what's driving the Yankees' success is the lineup is more diversified this year. As great as Judge and Soto were as a tandem last year, 1/3 of the Yankee lineup seemed to be automatic outs. This year, that problem looks like it's been resolved. See ya.
Well, he said 1/3 of the lineup was easy out last year.
They're still easy
Right
outs,
now,
but that's
third base is an easy out right now, because as much as I said that I like Cabrera, with Peraza at third base, that's an easy out. Quite frankly, Wells isn't hitting either. And Grisham is much better, obviously, than he was last year. Even at his 3 for 14 is better than he was last year. I think that the lineup is longer, which is, I think, what Kramer was getting at. But do we think Goldschmidt can hit 330, 340? I mean, Bellinger is up to 270 now, and that's good. He's not going to continue with this ridiculous clip he's on right now. I would rather have him hit 270 throughout the season than hit 150 and then hit 400 like he's doing. Volpe is still too streaky for me, right? Judge is the best hitter in baseball, bottom line. I mean, he's putting up stats that are ridiculous. He's exactly what Mike Trout was in his prime. I mean, he's going to hit 40 to 50 homers and knock in 130 runs every year, and he's got a higher batting average.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the question becomes, right now DJ's quasi hitting still, and we'll see what happens when Grisham comes back. But the lineup is longer. Their on-base percentage is better. The difference, I don't necessarily think the bullpen's that much better. The pitching's got me a little worried because the Yankees are still at a very high walks per 9 for their staff, and their percentage of strikes thrown for their pitchers are still ridiculously bad, although it's getting better because both Schmidt and Warren have been good their last few starts as far as throwing strikes, and Rodon has been much better after his first couple of starts this year, where they're no longer getting, they're getting 100 pitches now in 6 innings instead of 100 pitches at 5 innings. I'd like them to get 100 pitches in 7 innings, but we'll see what happens. The Yankees have more wins without a quality start. Yes, quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs or less. Yankees have more wins without a quality start than any team in baseball because their pitchers weren't pitching 6 innings. And that's going to stretch the bullpen.
That was the issue, I think. That's always my concern, that their bullpen. Now, luckily, they've been able to rotate through some of these guys. They haven't even barely gotten Loizaga back. I don't know if they're going to get Efros back. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring back Cruz. I think Cruz is a pretty light injury. They probably more just to be careful than anything else. But then, of course, this is the Yankees. He'll probably need to have shoulder reconstruction next week. So God forbid. But I think that they've got some weapons out there that are really good. I'm liking, though I still get nervous whenever Devin gives up a walk or a hit. He seems to lose his focus for a minute, though he's been pulling it back. I can't say enough about Dreamweaver. Just outrageously good. I mean, who knew? Where did this come from?
He's thrown He's thrown 18 pitches and he has a win and 2 saves in the last 3 games. I want to say something though about Weisiger. Weisiger hasn't pitched in like 4 games.
Yeah, why are they doing that? Like, get him in there. He
Yesterday,
needs to work.
yesterday they brought in De Los Santos, right? And he almost blew the game. So I'm curious as to what's going on there because it's not Weisiger. All right, he's not going to pitch 2 consecutive games, but he didn't pitch yesterday, which was Wednesday, and he didn't pitch Tuesday, and he didn't pitch today. So that's at least 3 games, and I don't think he pitched on Monday because they didn't play. So he hasn't pitched before. That's got me a little concerned. What's going on there that they did that? And they brought up, what's his face, Hedrick or whatever his name is.
He's a big guy who throws really hard. We'll see. Not bad having a 97-mile-an-hour fastball out there right now. So I'm not going to die with that. But we'll see. You know, they got lots of guys with trick, like lots of interesting guys out there.
And Beaters,
got Slombia boy. Yeah, you've got Slombia boy. And the thing about him, about Hamilton, is I know you don't like Hamilton, but the metrics.
He's done. I liked him. I think he's done.
I don't agree. I think the metrics show that he has got a lot of strike, a lot of swing and miss. He's just, you know, they seem to like him a lot, and I think that the metrics seem to love him. Question is, you know, can he sustain it? He has a way of looking terrible or looking really good. It's one of the.
I think that he is burnt out. I think he is Scott Proctor syndrome. I think that Phil is also running on the edge of being done, and Leiter. I think Leiter's more of a I'm really good or I'm really bad. And I don't know if Leiter's burnt out. Leiter, you know, sometimes he just stinks to high heaven, and the next time he comes out, he's just unhittable. So
yeah, well, he gets a slider over. The problem with him, if he can't get his, you know, if he can't get his slider over, his fastball is very exposed. So that's the issue. He has to throw his fastball, which is often
he throws a split. He throws a split, I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm worried about the bullpen.
Sorry, that's what I was.
Because they're all going to get burnt out, and that's the challenge that I have. And there's not, you know, a lot of bullpen pieces are missing from a lot of teams. I mean, look at the Phillies. Jeez.
Yeah, but very good couple weeks. Good to get back in the business with you. And let's try to do another show again soon. Maybe we'll do something over the week. Do a quick catch up. Hey, why don't we do a well, if the Yankees lose, you know, 2 out of 3 to the Rockies, let's do a show.
Yeah, well, we should do an apology show. We should do it. If the Yankees start losing now, we have to go on and do an apology show.
We are sorry because we're the ones who caused it. Have a great day. All right.
Good luck in prison. Drive home safely.
All right. Bye-bye.